Hello YTPC, Parsimonious Piper here. Today we have Morsels for mental manducation. But first, in a tall Briar Lee billiard, I'm smoking some Mylan Reflections. It has a touch of vanilla, caramel, and spice. It's a nice light aromatic. So what do we start with today? Well, I keep hearing that the political right is awash with hatred, homophobia, sexism, you name it. They're evil. And yet, I keep seeing texts and tweets like this one from Deborah Messing, the formerly famous actress. Gonna read it so I get it right word for word. Tweet to Donald Trump. I hope you live a long life in prison where you become the most popular boyfriend to all the inmates. And no, Twitter did not suspend her account or put her in Twitter timeout for violating whatever norms they pretend to have. CDC just came out with the study last week. You're gonna love this one. In an effort to determine the person from whom you are most likely to contract the virus which can't be named, the CDC did a study. Wait for it. Your spouse. They needed a study for that. Your tax dollars at work, folks. Sticking with the CDC and the virus that can't be named. A couple weeks ago, the CDC convened a panel to make recommendations for who should be prioritized for receiving the vaccine. Everyone agreed that healthcare workers, frontline healthcare workers, should get the first round. We thought the panel would probably recommend that the most vulnerable would be next. However, one of the panelists, and I'm going to get this guy's name right, Harold Schmidt, a so-called expert in ethics and health policy at the University of Pennsylvania, said no, we shouldn't send the virus or the vaccine next to those who are most vulnerable, because those who are most vulnerable are primarily the elderly, and the elderly are primarily white. Can't make this stuff up, folks. Now, the CDC released new recommendations from a panel this week, and the elderly are next in line. Nice walk back. All right, let's see what's next. Wokeness. More wokeness. Give me a sec. I gotta get lit for this. These Mylan aromatics, I've been able to smoke pretty well without any dry time. This one's no exception, but I do occasionally have to do a relight because I like to smoke aromatics kind of on the edge of going out. And this is not wet or goopy, but I have had to relight it a couple of times. No big deal. The flavor is still fantastic. So, more wokeness. school district in San Francisco is planning to rename a school which is currently named for Abraham Lincoln. Why? Because he didn't demonstrate that he cared enough about black lives. I guess being murdered by a Democrat for ending slavery just ain't woke enough for you. Amazing. In a similar vein, in a New York Times article this last week, the author, who I won't give any publicity by naming, you can look this article up, it's revolting. The author said that we should not be praising Helen Keller because she had white privilege. Yes, that Helen Keller. With that, light something you enjoy. It's going to be a rough ride, and enjoy your afternoon.